Hello students, I am Anushka Jain, Assistant Professor of Department of Pharmaceutics from Ram-Eesh Institute of Vocational and Technical Education, Greater Noida. In this video, I am going to discuss some of the multiple choice questions related to the topic sterile dosage form. So students, let's start. So the first question of this video is, which of the following coating is used to lubricate vial rubber closures, syringe rubber plungers? The options are A. Silicone, B. Teflon, C. Fluorotec, or D, that is all of the above. So the correct option is option A, which is silicone. So silicone is used to lubricate vial rubber closures or syringe rubber plungers. The next question is, which of the following is not official test for rubber closures? तो हमें इसमें ये चीज़ ध्यान देनी है कि इनमें से कौन सा ऐसा टेस्ट है जो कि ऑफिशियली रबर क्लोजर्स के लिए परफॉर्म नहीं किया जाता है. सो द ऑप्शंस आर ऑप्शन ए स्टेरिलिटी टेस्ट, ऑप्शन बी ह्यूमिडिटी टेस्ट, ऑप्शन सी फ्रेगमेंटेशन टेस्ट और ऑप्शन डी सेल्फ सीलेबिलिटी टेस्ट. सो द करेक्ट ऑप्शन इज option B, which is humidity test. So all the other three tests, that is sterility, fragmentation or self-sealability test, are the official test for rubber closures, while humidity test does not come under the official test of rubber closures. So the correct option is option D, option B, which is humidity test. Now let's proceed towards the next question. What is the efficiency of HEPA filter? So in this question we have to define the efficiency. So the options are option A, remove at least 99.97% of airborne particles 0.3 micrometer in diameter. Option B, remove at least 100% of airborne particles 0.3 micrometers in diameter. Option C, remove at least 99.97% of airborne particles 2 micrometers in diameter. Or option D, remove at least 97.99% of airborne particles 0.3 micrometers in diameter. So the correct option is option A, that is the efficiency of HEPA filter is to remove at least 99.97% of airborne particles 0.3 micrometer in diameter. The next question is, which of the following is not true, or we can say that which of the following is false? The options are option A, in a vertical laminar flow, free particles air is forced downward towards the work surface. Option B, in horizontal laminar airflow, particle-free air is forced in a back-to-front direction across the work surface. Option C, in vertical laminar flow, air enters the system from behind the HEPA filters. And option D, in horizontal laminar airflow, air blows towards the worker. So laminar airflow is the part of aseptic area. So the options, that is A, B and D, are incorrect. The correct option is option C, that is in a vertical laminar airflow the air enters the system. System means the aseptic area from behind the HEPA filter. Now let's move on towards the next question. According to USP, that is United States of Pharmacopoeia, the visible particle size permitted in large volume parenterals is. Now here we have to select the correct limit of visible particle size permitted in LVP according to USP, that is United States of Pharmacopoeia. So let's see the all options. Option A is limit of 50 particles of 10 micrometers and larger and 5 particles of 25 micrometers and larger per ml. Option B, limit of 50 particles of 1 micrometers and larger and 5 particles of 2 micrometers and larger per ml. Option C, limit of 100 particles of 10 micrometers and larger and 5 particles of 25 micrometers and larger per ml. Option D, limit of 50 particles of 100 micrometers and larger and 5 particles of 50 micrometer and larger per ml. So, according to United States of Pharmacopoeia, the particle size permitted in large volume parenteral is limit of 50 particles of 10 micrometers and larger and 5 particles of 25 micrometers and larger per ml. So, the correct option is option A. In this question, we have to select the following which is true. So, the options are option A, rabbit pyrogen test is quantitative biologic test. Option B, pyrogenic effect is high with IM as compared to IV injections. Option C, greater danger of pyrogens exists in large volume parenterals as compared to small volume parenterals. Or option D, LAL test is an in vivo test. So, the correct option or the correct sentence is greater danger of pyrogens exists in large volume parenterals as compared to small volume parenterals. So, the correct option is option C. According to Indian Pharmacopoeia, the preparation passes the rabbit pyrogen test if the options are the group of 3 rabbits does not exceed 0.6 degrees Celsius. Option B, the group of 3 rabbits does not exceed 1.4 degrees Celsius and if the response of individual rabbit is less than 0.3 degrees Celsius. Option C, the group of 3 rabbits does not exceed 1.4 degrees Celsius and if the response of individual rabbit is less than 0.6 degrees Celsius. Option D, the group of 6 rabbits does not exceed 1.4 degrees Celsius and if the response of individual rabbit is less than 0.6 degrees Celsius. So, according to Indian Pharmacopoeia, the preparation which you are evaluating passes the rabbit pyrogen test if the group of 3 rabbits does not exceed 1.4 degrees Celsius and if the response of individual rabbit is less than 0.6 degrees Celsius. So, the correct option is option C. Now, here we have to select the correct option or the option which is not true about the LAL test. So, here are 5 options. Option A is, it is an in vivo biological test. Option B is, it is performed using lysates of amoebocytes of the horseshoe crab, that is Limulus polyphemus. Option C, it is a biochemical test performed in a test tube. Option D, it is simple, rapid and more sensitive than rabbit pyrogen test. Or option E, it is used to determine quantitative amount of endotoxin present in a preparation. So, the correct option is A, that means which is not true about the LAL test, which is it is an in vivo biological test, as we know that LAL test is not in vivo. So, according to the question, the correct option is option A, that is not true about the LAL test. But while the other options, that is B, C, D and E, all the other options are true about the LAL test. The absence of all forms of microbial life, including spores, is known as what? Option A, sanitization. Option B, disinfection. Option C, decontamination. Or option D, sterility. So, the correct option is option D, which is sterility. So, the absence of all forms of microbial life, including spores, is known as sterility. The next question is, sealed glass container with an elongated neck is what? Option A, gauge. Option B, ampules. Option C, CSP. Or option D, vial. So, the sealed glass container with an elongated neck is known as ampules. So, the correct option is option B, which is ampules. Now, let's move on towards the next question. The high efficiency air filter is what? A HEPA filter, option B diluent, option C final filter, option D web filter. So the correct option is HEPA filter. A solvent that dissolved a lyophilized powder or dilutes a solution is known as what? Options are A diluent, option B solvent, option C additive, option D admixture. So the correct option is option A, which is diluent. It is a solvent that dissolves a lyophilized powder or dilutes a solution. The next question is, movement of particles in a solution through permeable membranes is known as what? The following options are A filter, B dialysis, C flow rate, or D anhydrous. So movement of particles in a solution through permeable membrane is generally referred to as dialysis. So the correct option is option B, which is dialysis. Methods that maintain the sterility of the product is option A aseptic technique, option B bleaching, option C a clear person, option D admixture. The correct option is option A. Aseptic techniques are the method that maintains the sterility of the product. So the correct option is option A. Now the last question of this video is, the rate at which the solution is administered to the patient is known as what? Option A gauge, option B coring, option C diluent, or option D flow rate. So this is a very simple question, as we can see it in the question. The correct option is flow rate. So the rate at which the solution is administered to the patient is known as flow rate. Thank you.